So, who is really the prize? Man or woman? And what makes somebody a prize? Because, you know, that's a matter of opinion anyway. I mean, you talk to one person, they may say one thing. You talk to another person, they may say another thing. Somebody might agree with one of them. Somebody might disagree with the other, right? So who is the prize? And what makes somebody a prize in the first place? Okay, let me tell you how I feel about this, right? A lot of times when I hear people call themselves a prize, it's like, what is a prize for anyway? A prize is really for somebody else, right? I mean, you give somebody a prize. A lot of times when I hear people say that they are the prize, a lot of times, and some people might disagree with what I'm about to say, but let me talk. A lot of times, the way that the type of tone, the type of demeanor, it sounds like that people have when they're saying they're the prize, it sounds like it's more about them first. But you give a prize to somebody else. Now, the reason why I think some people might misunderstand what I'm saying misunderstand what I'm saying by saying what I just said is because they would say that the reason why they're saying that they're a prize, or the reason why people are saying that they are the prize, is because of, you know, what they bring to the table, what somebody's going to get when they get with them. So it is for them. I get that logic, right? That makes sense, right? But listen, right? It sounds like when people say that they are the prize, right? They're saying it in a type of way that's like, sure, you get with me. Look, I'm that one here. Like, you know, sure, you can get to step it if push come to shove. Sure, it is what it is. You know, if you coming with that type of heart posture, that type of mindset, like you're talking about this in a relationship type of way, even if you're single, right? Or some people may be in a relationship and still, you know, consider themselves the prize. There's nothing wrong with someone having good, healthy self-esteem. We're supposed to have that, right? But if a lot of times it sounds like people saying it out of spite, a lot of times in defense, or, you know, just like out of spite, in defense. You know, it don't sound like people is saying this with a mindset or a heart posture as to being giving or what they can do for somebody else. That's part of the equation, because you're talking about like being with somebody. So yes, that can automatically come. But it sounds like what's at the forefront is, man, look, I'm the one in this thing. Sure. What, man? Oh man, I ain't got to do. I'm that dude. I'm that woman or whatever like that, right? And it sound to me in the past, it sound like I would mostly only hear women say it. Nowadays, I hear a mixture of both people saying it, and I think both people are saying it in defense, right? I think a lot of times it's people who done had a lot of hardships dealing with the opposite sex already. That don't mean you was automatically wrong when you got them hardships. You could have been a man or a woman doing the right thing, trying to do right, and you know, somebody messed over you. A lot of times, you got people who was already playing dirty anyway, going into situations with bad intentions, trying to manipulate somebody one way or another, and they got caught up in the game and burnt themselves, and now they have hard feelings, right? I think most people are really saying it in a defensive type of way, right? When in actuality, you two supposed to be a prize for each other. What if both of y'all that's how it's supposed to be anyway, right? If you're approaching it from a defensive mindset, you know, kind of like people would say they're not coming at it in a looking down type of way, but when sound like when you hear them, it sound like they gotta, you know, they gotta like it's about me type of mindset. Even you might be watching the video and you may say you're a prize. Like I said, you're supposed to have a healthy self-esteem about yourself, right? But some people, if you're approaching, how you going to be in a relationship, right? A partnership with I'm the prize type mindset. How conducive can this partnership be if one of us got this mindset and heart posture in it? Or if both of us got it? We just bumping heads, right? Instead of having a mindset and a heart posture to be a prize, to really give that prize. I know you say you're going to already give it, but if the heart posture and the mindset is more, look, I'm the prize instead of I'm a prize for you. Nobody don't say that. Look, you need to understand, ladies, or you need to understand, I'm going to be a prize for, nobody don't say I'm a prize for you. I want to be your prize. I'm the prize. I'm not I want to be your, there's a difference in the mindset and the heart posture with saying I'm the prize and saying I'm going to be your prize. Don't mean you can't have standards. Don't mean you got to be nobody doormat. Don't mean you got to go for anything. You can still have all those things and be a prize to give yourself to somebody in a good, healthy way. Now, what makes somebody a prize, right? We're going to get into that because we're supposed to start that. Like I said, it can vary from person to person, but this is what I will say. If somebody deems themselves a prize or somebody calls themselves a prize, obviously things that they would run off to say that they are a prize, they consider these things of value or some great importance in their eyes. That's why they would consider themselves a prize, because they have these things, that they'll do these things, and provide these things, are willing to do these things, right? So yeah, these things must be of importance to the person that's calling himself a prize, whatever those things are. But let's talk about that. Some of these things that people would run off, that would run down and say, this is why I'm a prize. And these things could be of importance, in a relationship manner, and sometimes in general. Don't get me wrong, whether you're a man or you're a woman, right? I'm a man, so let me speak from like a dude's perspective, right? I think a lot of times, when it comes to being a prize, if a man's saying he's a prize, if he's a prize, if somebody is saying that, finances is going to have something to do with it. And look, I think that's part of it, right? Our nature is to provide and protect. That's part of what we do, right? Talk about it in the video I made called Money Making Man Loses His Woman. A Breadwinning Man Loses His Family, something like that. I might have to remake that video too. Now, a woman, if she run down some reasons why she a prize, you know what I'm saying? It's probably going to be something that she deems important as a woman. It'll be something that she may attach to her womanhood, especially if she talking about it in a relational type way, where, she have to be the woman in a relationship with the man, and vice versa. The man, he would talk about some things that will probably be attached to where he can, his manhood in this relationship type way when dealing with a woman. Here's the thing, right? Now, this is, to me, a big part of being a prize, so to speak. Those things are easy to place importance on and place high level value on them, because they're already near and dear to who you are and want to be naturally anyway. Who can't do that? Those things that are not naturally as important to you, whether you're a man or a woman, that your partner need. Can you really be willing? Can you provide that? Are you willing to appease those needs? Right? Let me give an example, because I talk about it in that video I made called, Breadwinning Man Loses His Family, right? It might not be uncommon for a man to complain about his woman saying she need more quality time, especially if he feel like it's going to interfere with his overtime or his money, right? Or let's say he ain't working overtime. Let's say all the bills is paid. She ain't ever have to pay a bill in here, whether she work or don't work, he just cover it. Hey, I got that, whether they're splitting bills or whatever. Long as the stuff that's related to finances taken care of, that's attached to his providing as a man is taken care of. Sometimes he can be content with that, and it's easy for him to do that because that's attached to what he naturally wants to do anyway. But that woman asking for more time. I think in order to be a prize, you can't just feel you a prize because of those things that naturally appease which your gender is. Like I say, women have things that would naturally make them feel like they're a prize. Is it attached to your womanhood, or could you appease what that man need that don't naturally come to you, but is more naturally needed for him? Can you consistently do that? Man, vice versa, can you consistently do that for that woman? Because when you start running off, when you hear people running off their prize, is it really going to be something that's not naturally something that they want to do? You got to be willing to do that. And people will say, oh, yeah, but are you really doing it? Or are you really willing to do it? Or those things that just you deem important because you are a certain gender and that naturally come to you, is that just going to stay at the forefront no matter what, even though you're in a relationship with somebody that's the opposite gender? If you ain't putting those on that same level, then like I say in that video, you can be a good man or a good woman single, right? But once you into this relationship dynamic, you're in a relationship. This is your life partner now. Whatever is naturally appeasing to your womanhood or your manhood that you would consider you a prize, whatever is that important to their gender, you need to make that on equal playing field to be in this healthy relationship with each other. And that's how you can be a prize. And if both of y'all doing that, y'all are prizes for each other. And you need to approach it, like I said, with a mindset that not I'm the prize, but I want to be a prize for you. A given type of thing. And if both people doing that and not just making their prizehood, if that's ain't a real word, making their prizehood only about what naturally appease them, but what naturally can appease that person, figure that out and go with that. With standards and boundaries and stuff. Like I said, you ain't no doormat, you ain't got to go for anything, don't get me wrong. But you get what I'm saying. So I think both of them, they need to get out of competition with each other and be a prize for each other.